including attacking my dad, which was the most vile of all, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have watched videos of him questioning the Holocaust, likening it to baking cookies in the oven, and there's no way.
I'm sorry, but if you don't think the Holocaust happened, you're kind of like that person that thinks the world is flat, or like you don't know what gender identity you are. Like everything that you say. I'm just like, I don't know what you're stupid. I'm not gonna listen to anything you say. Like, I couldn't take advice from that person. I just couldn't. I'm
you
sorry.
You could have gotten to 6 million. Seems to be.
Sorry,
his
not sorry.
He seemed to think that we've way overstated the number of Jews killed in the Holocaust. He's ripped on poor Usha Vance in the most offensive terms. Which I mean, so what do you say to those people who say, why didn't you raise any of that?
You interviewed Vladimir Putin. I mean, isn't Vladimir Putin worse than Nick Fuentes? I feel like he's at least a little bit worse, right?
You know, do your own interview the way that you want to do it. You're not my editor. Buzz off. I mean, I don't know. You want to go yell at...
Absolutely based fucking response. Mm-hmm. I'm not accountable to you. I'm accountable to my audience, and that's it.
Amen.
I love this. Thank God. Thank God we're moving away from this weird virtue signal garbage.
Well, you know why? Because there's been so many people that have gotten famous off of giving people what they want to hear instead of what you know is right and wrong, and it's happening with Hassan right now. His audience is literally cannibalizing him. They're eating him alive. They get to go from one thing to another to another to another. It's never gonna stop.
Holy shit, man.
Nick Fuentes, I'll give you his cell. Call him and go sit and yell at him and feel virtuous or whatever. That's up to you. I got the same thing with Putin. Why aren't you yelling at him? Okay, why? So I can show that I'm a good person?
So I cannot be dead?
Exactly. I was about to say, so he doesn't get killed. Yo, low-key based.
I care about what my wife thinks, my children think, and God thinks, and that's it. I don't need to prove that I'm a...
Wow.
Amen. See, that's what's going on with a lot of these senators right now. They're so busy trying to cater to these 1%ers that hold the entire wealth of America and make themselves look good amongst themselves that they forget why they're even in office. They're in office because a group of people, namely the Americans, put them there to help Americans.
Did not give a fuck. Okay.
Good person to you. You may think I'm a terrible person. Okay, I'm just doing my thing, which is I want to understand what people think. And I'm committed to that. And if you don't like it, don't watch. That's my view.
Thank you. Based. Oh, man. He really changed. I used to not like Tucker Carlson. I didn't like his viewpoints on a lot of stuff. He changed. It's either he changed or he's had the same viewpoints, and the media that I was watching at the time alienated those viewpoints.
I used to pray for times like this. Thank God. The weird, purity testing, moral policing, busybody, I'm gonna tell you what to do bullshit is finally dying.
Mr. Trump and Ms. Trump, I'd like to ask about your father's relationship with Israel.
Oh, boy. It's going mainstream. It is. It is.
Groups. During the summer against Iran, even though he advised against it, Israel still attacked Iran, and the U.S. still bombed on behalf of Israel.
Yeah.
Your father's frustrations with Netanyahu have been made clear when he cursed on national TV over the situation.
He said they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Israel has not been a great ally to the U.S. all the way since 1960 when they bombed the USS Liberty.
And holy shit. Bro, you can tell by their faces. Look at their faces as he keeps going with this question. Right? Look at their face. Like, you could see that's kind of like, oh, yeah, you know, haha, you know, this will be great. And then their faces just, they just eat shit, bro. Because they know this is a good question.
Nation that does not do that itself. But how can we do this?
know whether that's
We
true.
talk about America first and defend attack. And Israel is a nation where Christians are constantly.
Damn, he's not even done yet. I went too far ahead.
Over the situation.
He said they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Israel has not been a great ally to the U.S. all the way since 1960 when they bombed the USS Liberty.
And
Something's up with this man. Something's up with this guy. I don't know what it is. He's not wearing a MAGA hat. He's not really trying to blend in at all. The way he's talking, it seems like he's very sad. It sounds like he's crying. And he knows what he's talking about. I wonder if something happened to him during this time, or if he's had family members that have lost lives to something like this, or what's going on with this young man. Something's off with him. Something's not right. I don't usually notice that, but like everything about him is just reading something ain't right.
bro,
Israel is a nation where Christians are constantly under attack in both Gaza and the West Bank.
I don't know whether that's
We
true.
talk about America first and defending Christians, but how can we do this if we align ourselves with a nation that does not do that itself?
Well, it's just like Europe right now. Europe has no freedom of speech whatsoever. You can get arrested if you talk poorly about the illegal immigration that's going on. In fact, Europe is so bad right now that they are trying to, I think they already passed laws that prohibit even Americans from talking about how their structure is right now in a government.
Man.
Like, look at his demeanor. Everything about this young man says that he's waited a while to say this. You could tell that he's watched a lot of debates, and no one's ever asked this question. And he looks like he's just sick and tired of it.
People waking up to this real quick. Is this guy a plant? Yeah, he's a cactus.
There's no question my father's had frustration. In fact, I think he's had frustration throughout the whole conflict with both sides. At the same time, make no mistake, you have a nation that is chanting death to America every single day on the streets of Tehran. You have a nation that will develop a nuclear weapon, and you have a nation that will use that nuclear weapon against the Western way of life. There's no question about it.
I hate this weird thing that like we have to be on Israel's side because Iran is bad. Iran is obviously run by a bunch of militaristic religious shithead retards. It is. I'm not a fan. I don't like the people that are running it. I don't want them to have nukes. And I would even support U.S. intervention to prevent them from having nuclear bombs. Nuclear bombs that are under control of a, insane extremist Islamic government, I consider an existential threat to the entire world.
I agree.
So yeah, like I'm
a nuclear bomb that is able to launch from soil in a foreign country moves them up the chain as political power. It means they have the capabilities to make more advanced weaponry and technology, which by default would make them a world superpower. A lot of people don't know that, but in order to become a world superpower, you have to have nukes. It's one of the criterias. That and a certain type of economy. But the nukes are like the fastest way to get there. And the last thing you want is to have to deal with some foreign country whose radicalized terroristic regime owns the government and has access to nukes. You don't want that.
fine with that. But that doesn't mean we have to fund and have politicians owned by Israel here. Like, we work with other countries to solve problems constantly without these other countries having the flag of that country next to the American flag.
I agree.
We do this all the time. Israel is not saying death to America in the streets. Listen, a lot of Iranians don't even like the Iranian government either. You have to remember that Iran before 1979, there's a lot of people that are alive now that were still then. It's not like every Iranian hates Americans either. A lot of them are under an oppressive, religious, extremist government that is militaristic.
The best thing that you could do as a world superpower, without even nukes, is keep your enemies close. And the reason for that is they may say something, may slip a tongue that lets you know that they're doing things behind the radar that you can't pick up. Like, it is definitely one of the best ways to change the world. Sometimes changing the world doesn't involve show of force. It involves making friends out of enemies.
Government. And they're not even able, do you know the reason why we didn't get a lot of footage out of Iran whenever Israel was bombing them? It's because Iran turned off the internet. They just turned it off. They're awful. The government there is terrible. Not the Iranian people. I'm sure some of them are assholes, for sure. Of course they are. But when you actually really look at the individuals there, I'm not going to go and blame them. What the fuck? No, and also none of this has to do with Israel. We don't have to pick Israel just because we don't like Iran. Mm-hmm. Who made these rules? Oh, that's right, Israel.
Have a nation that will use proxies around the world, whether it's Yemen, whether it's a lot of other ones, to inflict serious harm on this nation, and they don't hide it. They don't hide it. In fact, it's really...
Well, they're not gonna hide it because they're trying to show that they're trying to act like they own a force. They're trying to gorilla up. You know, whenever a gorilla pumps its chest up to seem like it's bigger to another mate gorilla or male gorilla, that's what they're doing. They're trying to intimidate the U.S. and anybody else who wants to get involved. But the thing is if you run the United States government, there is no superpower bigger. We are the biggest. We have the biggest military, we spend the most money in our military, and we have the most money. We do. We have the most money in the world. And a lot of it goes towards our military. You can pump your chest all you want, but at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie.
Interesting. About a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago.
You don't know that?
They put out, the Ayatollah in Iran put out an emoji, a little short video clip of a drone.
You could have 1,000 soldiers. Great. We got one bomb that can just wipe out that 1,000 soldiers like it's nothing. Like, we have soldiers that can wipe out an entire platoons of people with just 5 or 6 people. You can't threaten us. We want to work peacefully, but if you don't, and you get obliterated, that's your fucking problem, not ours. Why can't you just play nice? It's like, oh, well, you can't just say that. They're slaughtering all these people, and no shit. No shit. But how's that our problem? We got our own goddamn problems. Now, we want to help people, sure. But if they don't want to help themselves, then why the hell should we get involved?
Hovering over my father's head as he played golf. This was literally posted on the Ayatollah's, Twitter page, following my father around a golf course with a crosshair right on top.
What the fuck does this have to do with Israel?
I can't stand that, dude.
Just because Israel attacks Iran sometimes, we have
to inflict real pain. What I can tell you about my father is, in terms of Israel, he wants a peaceful Middle East. He wants peace around the world. He wants to end the killing. He did that with India and Pakistan. He did that, obviously, you saw what he did with Cambodia and Thailand. He's tried to stop every conflict because he's sick.
And I'm going to say this. Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. You may not like to hear that. I don't particularly like him as a president. But he has told multiple countries to stop killing. And if you don't, we will annihilate you. He only had to do it with 2. everyone else fell in line. Stop killing each other. It's wrong. We live in the 21st century, bro. We could talk about this. Not everything has to lead to killing anymore. For fuck's sake, we live in one of the most civilized places in the fucking world. We can't talk about this?
Tired of the death and destruction.
And I think that's amazing. I think Trump has done a great job utilizing tariffs to stop international conflicts. I think it is tremendous, and I don't think he gets enough credit for it. I do. I think it's a great thing. It is an amazing, great thing. But the problem is when guys like this guy right here, he's going to go home and maybe he can't afford internet. Maybe he's in debt. Maybe he's still living at his...
That's what I was saying. Something's going on in this guy's personal life that made him go out of his way to go to that, because he's not really supporting anybody there. He's not wearing a MAGA. He doesn't have a hat on saying 47th president. He's not dressed to impress like the guy behind him. He's there to ask a question and make a statement. Like, something's going on with this guy for sure.
Mom's house. That's what he's going to be thinking about. He's not going to be thinking about Rwanda or Serbia or Pakistan. He's going to be thinking about his own house. I
just talked to somebody recently whose father has cancer, and they're so fucking poor that his daughter has to compress and wrap his wounds daily. Let that sink in.
The problem. I think that we can all agree that it's great that
people haven't had to dress their own shit since the 1800s.
Trump did these international things. Like, not we can all agree, but I think it's great. Personally, I do. I really think it's incredible. I think it's great. I think it's great what he did with the Middle East. It's great that he's trying to establish relations with, like, Syria. I'm a huge fan of this. I'm a massive advocate for it. But this is still not... He's the president of the United States, not the president of the world. And we need to have more domestic solutions for things. And the amount of, I think, tail wagging the dog that it seems like Israel is doing to America is very unsettling for a lot of young guys like him. And I think that Trump and the other politicians, like Ted Cruz is another one. We're going to get to Ted Cruz.
And I think that's fair, Nigel. I do. Because, like, at the end of the day, we're seeing what the media says, right? So, like, they could just twist that in whichever way they want to make it seem like Trump is a good guy. So I completely agree with you as well, Nigel. Like, I think he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize if he actually did the things that the media is spinning him to do.
If
that makes more sense.
I think that they're just not going to get the votes, man. They're not going to get the votes.
Let's move on from this.